The Tale of Savvy Julio, the Blood Code. Gather round, dear listener, and hear the chilling tale of Savvy Julio, a young man from the quiet hills of Nzimacwa. Born in 1988, Julio seemed like any ordinary child, but what no one knew was that by the age of 10, he had begun climbing the shadowy ranks of a hidden spiritual realm that lurks just beneath our world. They called it the space, an invisible dimension ruled by darkness. In this realm, spirits moved silently, unseen by human eyes, but ever present. Julio wasn't just dabbling in superstition, he had become one of them. It all began with a dream. Savvy Julio found himself night after night in vivid battles, fighting strange creatures in a dark, urban landscape. On the third night, as he stood victorious, a voice echoed from the shadows. "Do you want to follow me?" He hesitated, then said yes. Instantly, he felt his spirit leave his body. A demon stayed behind to possess his sleeping form, while Julio's soul was whisked away into the spiritual realm to begin his work. There, he was given a code, a mark of initiation, and a goblet of blood. "Drink," they said, "and forget your humanity." It was no metaphor. Julio drank and felt his heart begin to turn cold. Blood, rings, and the church. Julio was now a soldier in the army of darkness, tasked with fueling the thirst of demons who roamed the space. His missions? Car accidents, staged spiritually to spill blood. He and other recruits would descend invisibly on highways, tossing cursed rings into the path of drivers, clouding their vision, twisting their steering wheels with unseen hands. Death fed the darkness. But not all blood was equal. The blood of true Christians, those who lived holy lives, was poison. Demons could not touch it. Their prayers were like fire. A single hymn could burn through Julio's soul like a white-hot blade. Yet he found other ways to infiltrate their lives. His job soon shifted to spreading cursed objects, earrings, hair extensions, nail polish, necklaces. All beautiful, all alluring, all tainted. Each one bore a spiritual barcode that only beings like Julio could scan, giving him legal access into the homes of believers. And when Julio entered, he took things. Not physical things, but holiness. He whispered lust into the hearts of women through a cursed necklace. He sowed disobedience with a painted fingernail, and always he watched from the shadows. Savvy Julio was promoted. His new mission? Take down the church. He began attending revival meetings, armed with cursed rings. These were no ordinary trinkets. They had been prayed over with dark spells during their creation. Julio would toss 3 rings into the heart of the church and 2 at the feet of the pastor. If the pastor was strong, only 1 ring might roll back to Julio, powerless. But most weren't strong. 1 glance, just 1 impure thought, toward a beautiful girl, and the pastor would lose his covering. The Holy Spirit would depart. From there, Julio watched them unravel. Their sermons softened. They welcomed sin. They told youth it was fine to date, fine to dress however they liked, fine to flirt with ancestor worship. Julio's greatest tool? The pastor's wife. If she wore one of Julio's products, even unknowingly, her spirit would open up to influence. That influence would spread into her husband, and like a crack in stained glass, the light inside would begin to fade. Soon the doctrine would change. The church would fall. He had succeeded, many times. The more Julio worked in the darkness, the more he began to hear another voice, soft, persistent, calling his name in the night. A voice that reminded him of who he once was before the blood, before the code. One night, after watching a young Christian girl resist his influence, her spirit radiant with light, singing a hymn that made his skin blister, Julio collapsed. He realized he was no longer in control. Desperate and burning, he cried out for help. The light answered. Savvy Julio awoke, gasping. The demon that once held his body now gone. He was free, but not untouched. The memories remained. The things he'd seen, the things he'd done, they haunted him still. And now he speaks out, not to boast, but to warn. Beware what you welcome into your life. Not every glittering thing is harmless. Some objects carry codes. Some voices wear masks. And sometimes, the battle for your soul is happening while you sleep. Remember Savvy Julio's tale. Because the scariest part? He wasn't the only one.
And he won't be the last.
Wow, that was intense. Savvy Julio's journey is not just a story, it's a warning. A glimpse into a world most people never see, or choose not to believe. If you made it this far, thank you. Seriously, it means a lot. This kind of story isn't easy to tell, and it's not easy to hear, but it needs to be heard. And trust me, part 2, it only gets deeper, darker, and more mind-blowing. You don't want to miss it. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and help us grow this channel to our first 100 family members. We're almost there. If you've experienced anything strange, spiritual, or just plain unexplainable, DM us on Instagram. Your story might just be the next one we bring into the light. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, not everything you see is all there is.
Peace.
And prayers.